Kathy Bates' Madeline Matlock character is out for revenge, but Matlock Episode 5 introduces a new hurdle in her plans. Bates' new show is inspired by the original Andy Griffith Matlock series, one of the best procedural TV shows ever. While Griffith's series is hard to top, Bates has rivaled its predecessor and made it look easy. Matlock is the most popular series of the new TV cycle, garnering renewal for Matlock Season 2 after just a handful of episodes. Since its opening episode drew an audience of 7.7 million viewers, Matlock Season 1 has maintained its 100% score on Rotten Tomatoes. Part of the reason that Kathy Bates' Matlock is so successful is the series' underlying twist. Bates' Madeline Matlock character is a disguise for Madeline Kingston, a wealthy septuagenarian and retired lawyer who is infiltrating a prestigious law firm, Jacobson Moore, to get justice for her daughter. In Episode 5, Madeline gets closer to Olympia and her team, but a simple twist at the end could ruin her entire plan. 10. Madeline's husband Edwin gets involved with her revenge plan. Madeline can't succeed without support. Aaron Harris talking to Kathy Bates as Matlock. In Matlock Episode 5, Madeline Kingston's husband Edwin, Sam Anderson, gets involved in her secret revenge plan. Edwin typically provides Madeline with emotional support, but he gets his hands dirty in Episode 5. This development follows Matlock Episode 4 when Madeline laments to Edwin that she is in it alone and needs more help. Edwin's assistance replaces Madeline's previous help from Alfie, Aaron D. Harris, their grandson. Alfie assists Madeline in the first few episodes. However, Madeline and Edwin fought about Alfie's involvement in Episode 3. Alfie lies to his teacher and cuts class to help his grandmother, which makes the grandpa nervous, causing Edwin to pull him from the plan. 9. Julian and Olympia get an offer to sell their brownstone, which would change their divorce plans. Olympia's ex works at Jacobson Moore. Julian talks to a client with an intense look in Matlock. In Episode 5, Julian, Jason Ritter, reports to Olympia, Sky P. Marshall, that he has an offer from their neighbor to purchase their home. This development reveals insight into how Olympia and Julian navigate co-parenting after their divorce. Olympia and Julian have maintained their shared New York City brownstone so that their kids didn't have to move during the separation, with the parents coming and going instead, and the offer compromises their plan. The development puts pressure on Olympia to resolve her family issues. The lawyer was previously dating her colleague Elijah, who leaves Jacobson Moore's NYC location in Episode 4 after they break up in Episode 3. Olympia realizes she can't compromise her family by dating someone from the office, showing how deeply she cares about keeping her family together despite the divorce. Olympia's star witness relapses on drugs, forcing her team to rebuild the case. The case is close to home for Madeline. Olympia looks concerned while talking to a client at her desk in Matlock. The case that Olympia's team takes on in Episode 5 goes awry, causing the lawyer to take a different path. Olympia's team is navigating a class action case against a prison system after its guards are caught abusing its inmates. The team has to pivot after the lead plaintiff in the case, who was jailed on drug charges but has since been released and has relapsed on drugs. The case hits close to home for Madeline, who lost her daughter after a long battle with opioids. Madeline is the one to notice that the plaintiff is high on drugs when they go to visit her. She calls out the telling behavior to Olympia, who wonders why Madeline knows so much about addiction. The team has to rebuild their case after their plaintiff compromises their credibility, but they find that no one wants to take her place. The other women accusing the prison of abuse are all hesitant to end up in the same position. Madeline reveals to Olympia her mother was an alcoholic. Madeline covers up the truth with another truth. Aaron D. Harris as Alfie Kingston in Matlock. Madeline tells Olympia that her mother had her issues with alcohol in Episode 5. While the tidbit initially could be part of Madeline Matlock's persona, she later confirms that it is true when comforting Alfie. The grandson asks Madeline why his mother couldn't just stop her drug use, suggesting that if his mother loved him sufficiently, she would have stopped. Madeline explains to Alfie that his mother quit using drugs many times but that people with a substance disorder have to have perfect sobriety. The moment proves that Madeline tells Olympia the truth when she presses her on why she knows so much about addiction. Madeline says her mom was an alcoholic, covering up the truth, that she knew so much about addiction because of her daughter's battle with drug use, with another truth, a lesson learned from Matlock Episode 3's fascinating new character.